Hey there. Well, I saw Brawl in Cell Block 99 last night, and I wouldn't say I hate the movie, but I didn't love it. Um, Vince Vaughn's performance is immaculate as a man with no choices left, but for me, he's the only character that you really care about here, aside from possibly his wife, played by Jennifer Carpenter, but then really only because she's pregnant. At least, that's what I found. The film was directed by S.Craig who did Bone Tomahawk, and you can tell, or at least I could, then. Haven't seen the whole of Bone Tomahawk, admittedly, but I've seen some of it, but I didn't like what I saw, so I didn't watch the rest of it. And that's in no way a slur on Zala as a director. It's just the tone of it isn't for me. Basically, this stuff isn't for me. The story of Brawl in Cell Block 99 is pretty basic. Vince Vaughn plays this guy called Bradley Thomas, who starts out as a mechanic, I think, and gets fired. So he ends up working for a drug dealer, as you do. He's a principled man, though. So when a drug pickup goes bad, basically, and the cops show up and the gunfight starts, he actually shoots the people that he's with, that he did the pickup with, and gets arrested. He ends up going to prison, and his wife and unborn child are threatened, so he gets nasty about that, as you would, and then ends up in an even worse prison after that. The worst prison is, I think, called Red Leaf, and is run by Don Johnson's character. And Bradley Thomas causes Vince Vaughn's character causes more trouble when he's there and gets sent to what's called Cell Block 99, where he has to go and kill somebody so that his wife and unborn daughter are going to be okay. It's kind of his mission to get to this place, so he's got there. He gets to Cell Block 99 and finds out things aren't as advertised at all, and a load more violence ensues, basically, leading to the only possible outcome, really. It feels, as soon as he gets to Cell Block 99, it feels fairly inevitable. Yeah, so that's the story, and it's not a bad film. There's a lot of story to it. I mean, I've made it sound very simple, but it's actually quite nuanced in some ways. The violence is handled very well. The performances are good, given who the characters are. I just didn't give a shit about anyone, really, apart from Vince Vaughn's character. And I certainly wouldn't want to meet any of them as people, apart from possibly Lefty, who's a prisoner that Bradley meets, who seems quite chilled and I guess represents what Bradley could have been on the inside in a way, just doing his time and getting on with his life, had threats not been made against his family. But yeah, as I said, what puts me off, I think, is the tone. There's a lot of mocking in it and goading, and it's a very depressing film, I thought, which I'm not into that particularly. I'm not into that combination of depressing and mocking. I mean, I don't mind a depressing tone to a film. It can work. But I think it's basically the mocking that I have a problem with, and the goading element of the film. The brutality on offer is unflinching, bordering on comically ridiculous in parts when it does show up, because there's not a whole lot of violence in the film, but a lot of it comes at the end. And while I don't have a problem with violence at all, or gore or anything like that, I think combined with that tone, it's just not for me, essentially. As I say, I haven't seen Bone Tomahawk in its entirety, so I can't comment on that. Not really. But from what I did see of that film, again, you've got the depressing tone combined with the brutality. Seems to almost be a hallmark of Zola's, which is fine. I mean, I totally get that. Violence is horrific. It should be portrayed as horrific, and the truth of the desperation that people experience is obviously real, and it should be portrayed as such. It could be because I suffer from depression myself, I guess. But the film just didn't do it for me, basically. I've heard people say that they find it boring, this film, but I don't think it's boring, really. It's just, it's a story about a guy doing what he has to do to save his family. And that covers a lot of ground. I mean, yes, it can be all guns blazing and whatever, but it doesn't have to be. It can be a very interior experience, and it's more towards the interior experience side of things for much of the film. I think he has to put himself in situations that, I can't say they go against his character, but you can see by the actions of his character, really, that his hand is being forced at every point, and he can't get a grip, if you like, on his situation, which is pretty horrific, I think. I mean, to be in that position anyway is one thing, but then for it to go to such lengths, like there's a scene in the film during the gunfight where Bradley climbs up one of the slippery supports of the dock that the fight is taking place on. And I think that ends up being a metaphor for his whole journey, really, the struggle of that. I'm sure a lot of it is metaphorical. How prison can feel to people, maybe. I don't know, because I've never been to prison, but maybe it can feel like the Cell Block 99 a bit, the enclosed nature of it, the emotionless or aggressive feel of it. But, I don't think it was a boring film. And I don't think it was a bad film. I just think it was one that isn't for me, basically. So yeah. I personally didn't like this one, but it was well made, and if you like the tone of Bone Tomahawk, I think you may well enjoy this. I don't know. Someone who really likes the film, if you want to hear a positive review of it, is Jason from Sinister Cinema. So I'll put a link in the description to that, because he did a really good job of explaining why he liked the film, and I think he's a good reviewer. If you want a perhaps a more objective viewpoint of an objective description of its good points, then let's say that. It's worth checking out Jason's review on Sinister Cinema. Anyway, as always, and with all the above being said, please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that other good stuff, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.